Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, everyone, good morning. 1 minute. Okay, how many students have arrived? 40, 40, above 42.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Where we stopped up to vegetables, right? Okay, first answer this question, a logical question. Is question visible?
Yes, sir.
Consider the figures given below. 1, 2, 3. 3 rows are there. Each row contains 3 some pictures. You just take any one logic. What should be the picture in the question mark? Option A, B, C, D. Options are also given. To fit the question mark, the correct answer may be B, C, D, A.
Sir, option 2.
Option
Sir,
2.
option C. Sir, option C. Option C, sir.
Okay, rethink again. No, option
So
2.
option 1.
Option 1. Okay,
Sir, option C only, sir.
option C only. Okay, option A is right. Sendil said,
Yes, sir.
Okay, still who other said? No, Shalva. What? Okay, what logic? Maybe answer here not important. Your logic is important. Shalva, what?
Sir, in first, sir, shall I say?
Yeah, please.
Sir,
Yes.
in the first row, first column, first it's like a U up, then a straight line, and downwards U. In the
Okay.
second, a straight line, upward and downward U. In third line, upward, downward, and straight line. And the dot, it should be like a square, sir. I thought it's a box. I thought it's a circle, but it should be square. Option A is only correct, sir.
Yes. So Shalva almost 70% right. Great. But your way of thinking right, Shalva. Great. Whoever answered. But still exact answer option A. As said, Shalva logic is right. But one more logic. Here in first row, see circle and square and triangle shapes are at the end. Similarly, all these different polygons are present in this, figures. So here remaining polygon circle, so circle cannot be polygon. Triangle next should be the square. Okay, that is logic. Great. Sandel, okay, hands up to you. Did you guess the same logic or by lucky?
Sir, what you told, sir. By I checked.
Okay.
Each shape.
Okay, super. Keep this thinking. It will give you good employment opportunities. Okay, we stopped at vegetables, right? Fruits and vegetable we discussed, or do we want to discuss? Anyone? We discussed already about fruits and vegetables, students. What you guys are thinking? Yes, Harigaran Kalakarthik, super.
Sir.
But syllabus for the examination, I told coffee, up to coffee enough, and it still I reduced little bit syllabus to you, because for batch 1, your batch 2 for you already I have completed up to vegetables. For batch 1 students, I completed only up to millets. Okay, so you revise mostly up to millets enough. Clear? This table very important. Definitely there is one 5-mark question in this area. Okay, anyhow we will have time to revise. Today we don't want to waste the time. We will have 2 hours I think before examination. Today I want to discuss with you is non-food crops. The only 3 remaining crops for this whole chapter is rubber, cotton, jute. That's all. Okay. So let us discuss about that. So based on the almost same heading, you have to store the information. Here discussing is easy to me, but you have to store the information, and if you study twice or maximum thrice, it will be easy, nothing difficult here. Okay, non-food crops, word itself shows that it's not about eating. So non-food crops, it's all about selling, commercial crops. We are producing for sales. Okay, and that too not to eat. It's not edible, eatable. Okay, maybe for other activities, construction or usage of service based or any other based in economics. There are many types of industries. Are there no sectors? Are there no industrial, service, quaternary, quinary? Okay, in that. Okay, non-food crops, in that rubber we are going to discuss. See, this cotton and jute is also coming under non-food crops. From exam point of view, we should know some common names about these three crops. If examiner asks directly, write about rubber, you will write. Write about cotton, you will write, I know. But some students, they may not understand that. Good morning, Pungudi. Okay, listen. See, rubber can also be called as a plantation crop. Important plantation crop under non-food crop. Cotton is also a plantation crop. Jute is also a plantation crop. But here, cotton and jute can be called as a fiber crop. Why? Because a fiber, a thread-like fiber, can be obtained generally from these two crops, and from that, cloths or bags can be prepared. But fiber cannot be obtained from rubber or tea, coffee, right? So, example for simply, for example, I am asking, write about any one plantation crop. Then you will have 5 options. You may write about tea, coffee, rubber, cotton, jute. You will have 5 options. Write about any one non-food plantation crops means, then you can write about rubber or cotton or jute. If I ask to write about any one fiber crops mean, then you will have only 2 options. So like that, such kind of understanding required. Okay, first rubber cropping season, no. Why? It's not season dependent. It is not season dependent. Why? By common guess, can you say? Any season. Okay. Okay, it can be grown in any season. Okay, but still exactly, rubber will grow more than 6 months, around 10 months. Throughout the year, it will grow. So season means hardly it will be about 4 months, 4 to 5 months. Okay, so through like a sugar cane, it will grow throughout the year. So that is why it is not season dependent. Clear? Ah? Okay, no problem. No problem. Rubber is a season dependent, not season dependent. Suitable temperature 25 degrees Celsius and above. Rainfall above 200 centimeter. It needs moist and humid climate. That's why rubber grows in Kerala state. Now it started to be grown in Assam state. I discussed about this concept before some days. I remember. It requires heavy rainfall. In India, rubber plantation can be grown only in northeastern India and in Kerala and otherwise in southern Western Ghats. Because in India, southern Western Ghats and northeastern India only receives heavy rainfall. But northeastern India has not receiving higher temperature. It is enjoying cold climate. But Kerala state, a southern part of Western Ghats, receives heavy rainfall and also heavy temperature at as it is near to equatorial region. Okay, that's why in Kerala, rubber plantation is famous. Soil, it is not soil dependent. It can be grown in any soil if it has a good rainfall and temperature. But in practice, mountain soil is a best soil for the growth of rubber. Okay, Additional features about rubber. Rubber is a plantation crop. You know, it's a crop of equatorial region, but is also grown in tropical and subtropical region. Equatorial region means what? Because equatorial region, uh, I mean, will receive more amount of temperature, more than 30 degrees Celsius. That is why it's a crop of equatorial region. But it may grow in some other region also if it is receiving good temperature, because we cannot guess the temperature based on equatorial value. For example, Rajasthan is present in subtropical area above tropic of Cancer, but it receives high temperature and receives no rainfall, almost very less rainfall. That's why sometime if any area receives high rainfall or heavy rainfall and good temperature, then rubber plantation can be grown. Regarding India's position, India is the fourth largest rubber producer in the world, and here also China leads. I'm not much sure about second and third place, because every 2 years the country's position may be changing. Okay. In India, major rubber producing states are Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andaman Nicobar, Sea Island. Andaman Nicobar is famous for rubber plantation, and also Garo Hills of Meghalaya. I mean, northeastern state, Meghalaya, under Tripura. Meghalaya is there, no? In that state also, rubber plantation is famous. Next, about fiber crops, they are cotton and jute. Cotton is a kharif crop, generally sown. I mean, cotton seeds are sown in the month of June, the first week of June. Now, maybe cotton seeds may be growing. Temperature, record high temperature. High temperature means here more than 35 degrees Celsius. You should understand, not about 100 degrees Celsius. You know, rainfall. Regarding rainfall, it requires only very light rainfall. Then very light rainfall means less than 100 centimeter of rainfall. 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine for its growth. I mean, on the whole, the cotton plant will take at least 210 days, like a total number of working days of school in a year. Like you, it is growing cotton. In a week or month, if we want to say how many days it will take, someone say, so 210 days is equal to how many days? Because I'm talking, you say divide by 30. 7 months.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it takes more than 7 months. Yes, correct. Okay. Suitable soil, black soil. India's position second largest producer after China. So China is the first largest producer of cotton. India is second. Okay, features here as per our syllabus, no feature is listed, but in practice in cotton there are variety of types, variety of crossing and hybrid cottons are available for higher productivity nowadays, and HIV seeds are used for the cotton plantation. Major producing states in India: Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh. Next, about jute plantation. Okay, golden fiber. Jute is also called as golden fiber, right? In previous class you might have studied. It's a kharif crop, so cotton and jute may grow in a same season. It is also required high temperature and humid climate. But in contrast to cotton, jute requires heavy rainfall, not light rainfall. It will grow in well-drained alluvial soil, especially in floodplain. That is why jute is growing mostly in West Bengal region. Why? West Bengal is full of floodplain and alluvial soil because of Gangetic river mouth. Okay, one side Brahmaputra river floods and merges with the Bay of Bengal in West Bengal state, and another side Ganga plain comes. I mean Ganga river comes and merges with the Bay of Bengal. So because of the river mouth of Ganga and Brahmaputra, West Bengal area is full of alluvial soil and jute grows well in that area. Jute is used to make gunny bags, mats, ropes, yarn, carpet. So from jute, we will obtain first thread, some thread like yarns. From that yarn, bags, mat, rope, carpet we can make. Okay. Jute is also called as golden fiber. Write about the growth of golden fiber in India. Okay. Major producing states in India: West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Orissa, Meghalaya. These are all about fiber crops in India, growth of fiber crops in India. The last concept I want to discuss with you is Apurva, one doubt. Sir, non-food crops like rubber cannot be used as cattle feed. No, 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 no. Rubber cannot be eaten by anyone. Yes. Okay, technological and institutional reforms. Next, I want to discuss with you technological and institutional reforms. See, up to now in this chapter, we discussed about the growth of various kinds of crops. That's all. Hereafter, we will not discuss about any crops. Hereafter, some common concept for the whole chapter. Again, the status of agriculture in India. Okay, in agricultural department, India is an agrarian country or agro-based country. So, what are some reforms made by our government of India after independence, after 1951? I mean, exactly after a republic period. What are the steps carried out by government of India for the growth of agriculture sector in India? So that reforms can be again seen into two point of view. One is technological reforms, another one is institutional reforms. But from exam point of view, you can just store information in a single heading. That may be a technological or institutional reforms. Generally, what are the reforms made in agricultural sector? Here I have listed out from your textbook. We will see one by one. Kalai Karthik, one doubt we have, why it is called as golden fiber. Because compared with the cotton, jute is very famous and very commercial in northeastern India. That's why jute is called as a golden fiber. Okay, it's a traditional one, and there is no much reason behind that why jute is called as golden fiber. But I accept your view. Compare with the jute, cotton a little bit costly and exported more to other countries from India. I accept, but traditionally in north eastern India, I mean here in West Bengal, in that area in Chotanagpur Plateau, the growth of jute is very famous, and those people, they are much dependent for jute cultivation. Okay, that's why it is called as golden fiber, at, as it has more commercial value than cotton in West Bengal state. That's why that people, the people who live in West Bengal region, they started to call us golden fiber, and we follow that. That's all. Okay, see here some reforms we need to discuss. Agricultural development refers to efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet the growing demand of increasing population. Here on one mark question, you know, what do you mean by agriculture? Can anyone remind me what do you mean by agriculture? It's an art and science of cultivation of land, including rearing animals. Okay, definition for agriculture. Similarly, what do you mean by agricultural development? It refers to efforts made to increase farm production in order to meet growing demand of increasing population. One side, the number of people are increasing, population is increasing, so they will eat more every year. That's why agricultural produce should also be increased. That may be rice, oil, groundnut, whatever. So development towards the agricultural produce is called agricultural development. What do you mean by agricultural development? You should have clear idea. So now our government of India, now here means after 1951, has taken many steps towards agricultural development. I mean, towards the development of agricultural produce. What are they? First, Land reform was the main focus of first 5-year plan. I mean, in first 5-year plan, you should have idea about 5-year plan. Have you heard about this? Maybe in history and civic side. What is 5-year plan? Anyone? Whatever you know, just to speak. Our government of India, every 5 year, it is releasing 5-year plan. Previously, Planning Commission was releasing this 5-year plan. Now, Nidhi Ayog, 5-year plan. I mean, Planning Commission now renamed as Nidhi Ayog. Regarding this and all, you browse and check. Every 5-year once, our Nidhi Ayog, okay, it's releasing 5-year plan. For next 5-year, what we should spend, in which department, in which area we should spend. Like that, government will plan. Okay, and under 5-year plan, every year government will submit a budget as an annual plan. Okay, yes, from 1950 it started. So exactly 1951, from 1951 first 5-year plan starts. Keep it in mind, these are all GK. First 5-year plan starts from 1951. Okay, but the concept first, I mean 5-year plan came into existence from 1950. Okay, first 5-year plan starts from 1951. Okay, in that first 5-year plan itself, the main motto, main aim of government of India was land reform. Land reform means, in history you may study in detail. Previously, I mean before independence, you know, India was full of king. Okay, you know, king and zamindari people, they were owning more amount of lands. But under this land reform, no one should own more than 15 acres, exactly, sorry, 15 hectares of land. If anyone owns 15 hectares or more than 15 hectares of land, then it is an offense. That's why some zamindars, the people, they may be a landlord who owned more than 15 hectares of land. Their land were divided into many parts, and that were given to their relation or village people. Now, because of this, most of landless laborer received land. Then now they can cultivate and they can produce crops. Okay, so poverty may be reduced, agricultural produce may be increased. Okay, this is one reform. This is one important institutional reform. Okay, yes. Next reform, right to inheritance. Right to inheritance means, here, have you heard this word in history? Anyone? What do you mean by right to inheritance? Definitely it cannot be new to you.
Sir, inheritance.
Huh? Sorry? Tell me. Property. Okay. Now, if suppose your father owns 10 acres of land, then automatically after the period of your parents, that same land will be owned by you or not? Yeah, it will come to you.
Yes,
But
sir.
if you are a boy child, it will come automatically to you. If you are a girl child, it may not come to you. But now it comes, I know. But even though in practice nowadays, if you are a girl child, generally you will get the gold jewelries of your parents. You will not get a physical properties of your parents. But legally, it should not happen. Boys and girls are equal nowadays. Okay, suppose if your parents are owning 10 hectares of land area or any biggest house, office, in all the properties, girls are having equal rights in practice, legally. But it's a superstition that girl children, I mean women's, are not given the property of parents except some jewelries. Okay, that was abolished under right to inheritance. So here inheritance means the meaning whether you are a boy or girl. Here especially it means a girl, woman also having right in the property of parents. Next, reforms in 1960s and 1970s, the government of India introduced agricultural reforms. Name itself agricultural reforms. When in between 1960 and 70, in this decade, exactly if I want to say in 1963 and again in 1965, step by step they introduced. Under these reforms, they introduced HIV seeds. The major reform is about HIV seeds. High yielding variety seeds were introduced. And the green revolution, the concept green revolution was introduced under these agricultural reforms around 1965. Okay, now let us discuss about the agricultural reforms during 1965. First, about green revolution. Okay, the main aim of green revolution is to improve farm output. I mean farm output, to improve farm produces, farm productivity, farm yield, so that a farmer can get more profit. Next, to use a new technology and high yielding variety seeds was encouraged. Okay, new technology, introduction of tractor and new harvesting machines and seeds can be utilized under these reforms. Green revolution produced very good result, especially in Punjab and Haryana. Yeah, this is for better understanding. Here all the words are important. Here, as per this point of view, anyhow, in short, under agricultural reforms during 1965, okay, it encouraged the new technology and HIV seeds and higher yield to the farmer. This is a positive sides of green revolution. Negative side of green revolution is, it was, I mean, the concept green revolution was not reached throughout the country. Throughout the country, only some of the states benefited by green revolution. Example, Punjab and Haryana. And next negative point is, not all the crops, not all the kind of agricultural crops were covered under green revolution. For example, we are not only growing cotton and rice, we are also growing rubber, jute, wheat, many crops we have discussed, fruits, vegetable, right? But this green revolution mainly it was focusing on some plants, especially cotton and rice, sugarcane. Okay, that's why some state farmers were not liking the green revolution. Next, about white revolution, it is also called as Operation Flood. Operation Flood, white revolution, same. It was initiated to improve milk production in the country. Operation Flood is all about white revolution, just to keep it in mind. Next, in 1980s and 1990s, comprehensive land development programs were initiated that included both institutional and technical reforms. I mean, again, this point is about previous point, not much important, leave that. Provisions of crop insurance against natural calamities, example, drought, flood, fire, disease, etc. I mean, here, crop insurance, the concept crop insurance was introduced after 1980s. Before that, car insurance, personal accident insurance, you know, life insurance corporation of India, LIC, you know. Similarly, crop was also insured after our republic period. Next, establishment of Gramin banks, cooperative societies. Now cooperative banks are present almost in all the, at least in union of panchayats, cooperative banks are there. The main aim of cooperative banks are to provide loan for farmers. It is not a commercial bank to give loan for service oriented people or industrialists. Cooperative bank is established for the welfare of farmers, for the development of rural areas. Okay, Gramin bank is a kind of cooperative bank. Again, it's a kind of rural bank. Gramin bank and cooperative banks are rural banks. Okay, they are generally I mean, controlled by NABARD. Have you heard about NABARD, anyone? We have less amount of time. National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development. Okay, next, providing loan facilities at a lower rate of interest. These banks will provide loan for the farmers in lower interest rate. Next, Kishan credit card. I mean, our common bank customer B own variety of plastic money. Example, debit card, credit card. Okay. Similarly, farmer are given nowadays a Kishan credit card. Using this credit card, Kishan, I mean, Kishan means farmer, in Hindi. Most of you know Hindi. Farmer can get a loan up to 1 lakh in practice using this credit card. Okay. Next, personal accident insurance scheme, in short PAIS. It's a kind of insurance scheme covering a farmer. Okay, not for common people. It's not applicable for common people. Apart from this, special weather bulletins, agricultural programs for farmers were introduced on radio and television. For example, Krishi Darshan. It commenced on 26th January 1967 and is the longest running television series in the world. Even nowadays, in practice, recently, fisherman people are getting more GPS equipments while boating. They can come to know the limit of Indian territory, those, so that they may not be captured by Sri Lankan army. They are helped by Indian coastal forces. Similarly, from 1970s, Indian farmers are helped by more broadcasting services. By providing information facility, government of India is helping farmers. Okay. Next, government also introduced minimum support price. In short, it will be called as MSP. And remunerative and procurement prices for important crops. Remunerative means it's all about revenue to check the exploitation of farmers by the speculator and middleman. I mean, here what this point wants to convey you means, see, in most of the months, example, you take tomato and onion. In some months, the cost of tomato and onion will be very high. Okay, 1 kg may be sold out for 100 rupees, 80 rupees. At the same time, I mean, in another situation, the cost of tomato may be reduced for 5 rupees, 1 rupees, 2 rupees. So due to this negative situation, especially, farmer may face more loss. To avoid this, for each kind of crops, agricultural produce, government has fixed a MSP, minimum support price. Under this, no stakeholder or any middleman, okay, who are involved in a retail industry, they should not purchase any agricultural produce for less than a retail price fixed by the government of India. That is called a minimum support price. It is also called as minimum retail price, like maximum retail price. In short, we will call MRP, no, like that. Okay, we have discussed about some technological and institutional reforms. Shall I extend to 2 more minutes, please? I know time up. Next, in box in your textbook, there is information about Bodham and Gramdan movement. It's all about a revolutionary movement, okay, carried out by Vinoba Bhave. A very simple information, just to store information. Who is Vinoba Bhave? See, in history, you might have studied about n number of movement. There are n number of movement in history. But this Bodhan Gramdan movement is all about agriculture, still specifically about land division or land reform. Okay, Bodhan Gramdan movement is all about land reform. Okay, who carried out? Mainly Vinoba Bhave. Who is this fellow Vinoba Bhave? He is the follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He is the follower of Mahatma Gandhi. In short, I said. Okay, let us discuss about this movement. What kind of land reform were carried out under this movement? Okay, after Gandhiji's martyrdom, Vinoba Bhave undertook Padayatra to spread Gandhiji's message, covered almost entire country. You know Gandhiji killed by whom? Anyone? Okay, we don't want to go much depth. After
Sir,
that,
by human.
by human. Okay. Okay, now I have no time for joke. After the death of Gandhi, after the assassination of Gandhi, Vinoba Bhave went to Padayatra, like Tandi March. See, Gandhiji walked towards many places in India. Okay, all the walks were called as a revolutionary movement. No problem. Like that, after his death, Vinoba Bhave also walked Padayatra to spread the message of Gandhiji. This is one thing. In many of those kind of padayatra, this bodham gramdan movement is also one. What is that? Vinoba Bhave started a bodhan andolan. Here you should listen, all the remaining 4 points are important. Bodhan andolan, to encourage big landlords to donate a part of their land to landless farmers. Vinoba Bhave started bodhan andolan movement. Why big landlords should give their lands to landless farmers? Okay, one thing. Next, Sri Ramachandra Reddy should have and he offered 80 acres of land to be distributed among 80 landless villagers. This act was known as Bodhan. From one mark point of view, these points are very important. Now, Bodhan Andolan is a name of one movement. Bodham Andolan movement started by Vinoba Bhave. Most of the people may write Gandhiji or some other people or Sri Ramachandra Reddy. No. Bodham Andolan is nothing but a Padayatra, one kind of Padayatra walked by Vinoba Bhave and his supporters. It's a movement, awareness program. After this movement, one person, Sri Ramachandra Reddy, a small king, a landlord, inspired by this movement, and he gave his 80 acres of land to his villagers, 80 landless villager, 1 acre land to one villager, like that. This incident by which 80 acres of Sri Ramachandra Reddy was given to 80 villagers, this incident was called as Bodhan. So Bodhan is not a movement, it's an incident carried out by Sri Ramachandra Reddy. Bodhan Andolan by Vinoba Bhave, it's a movement. Next, next, like Sri Ramachandra Reddy, some other zamindars, owners of many villages, offered to distribute some villages among the landless. It was known as Gramdan. So here you should have clear idea about three terms. First, what do you mean by Bodhan? Bodhan is an incident or term by which Sri Ramachandra Reddy gave his 80 acres of land. Gramdan means some other zamindars or owners of many villages, they gave their land to some landless villagers. But here it is not about the exact amount of land given up. Gramdan means. Then together, this Bodhan and Gramdan movement, it includes both the activity of Sri Ramachandra Reddy and other zamindars. This Bodhan and Gramdan movement initiated by Vinoba Bhave by Bodhan Andolan movement is also known as bloodless revolution. So write about bloodless revolution. It's an important 5-mark question. You should write all these 5 points. Bloodless revolution or Bodham Gramdan movement initiated by Vinoba Bhave. Under this movement, mainly Sri Ramachandra Reddy was inspired much and he gave his land to landless villager. That's all. Okay. Do you have any doubts? Time up. I took extra 5 minutes.
Sir, really, who killed Gandhiji, sir?
What?
Who killed Gandhiji?
Godse, pa. Godse. Godse. Okay. Regarding that, we will talk later. Now, who killed Gandhi? Godse. Okay. Regarding Godse, we will discuss later. Okay. Now, home task question. Write about bloodless revolution. Next, list some schemes offered by Government of India for farmer during agricultural reforms. Here, schemes. Simply, you should not write all the reforms. Schemes means here only 2-3 schemes are there. Kishan Credit Card Scheme, Personal Accident Insurance Scheme, right? Provisions of crop insurance. Schemes means you should write only about some technological reforms. You should not write about land reform and all. Okay, be careful about the words used in question. Okay, students, thank you. Any other questions? Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, sir.